This padlock is still terrible. In our previous video, we demonstrated how easy it is to open this lock with a low-skilled raking attack. However, as quick as this method is, it's still a little obvious that you're not opening it with a key. Luckily, this truly appalling excuse for a lock provides us with another option for opening it. One which, to anyone but the most vigilant bystander, looks identical to opening the lock with a key. This is a comb tool, and it exploits another of this lock's shortcomings. To open a pin tumbler lock, we take all of the pins and raise them to the shear line so the core can be turned freely. If you notice, the key pin stays in the core whilst the driver pin remains in the lock body. If too much space is left in the body, we can push both sets of pins up and out of the core, allowing it to turn freely. This is simple to guard against. All the lock makers need to do is make sure that there's not enough space in the lock body for both sets of pins. Unfortunately, Master Lock decided not to do this. So far, we've focused on the core, and opening it by imitating a key one way or another. But that's not the only way to unlock some of the more poorly designed locks. A padlock is designed to retain a shackle until it's unlocked. There are a few ways to do that, but one of the more common ways is using a locking bar. This design uses retractable bars that lock into the shackle. To release the shackle, these bars need to be retracted. Normally, this is achieved by turning the key, which in turn retracts the bars. However, if the lock has some serious design flaws, like our one here, there are other ways of retracting those bars. Our first method is rather simple. We just put something in between the shackle and the locking bar. This is called shimming and requires absolutely zero skill. But it does require a lock with rather shoddy tolerances, as we need a gap between the lock body and the shackle that is large enough to allow us to force a thin piece of metal into that gap. This pushes aside the locking bar, releasing the shackle. Right, we've attacked a lock from the outside, let's attack it from the inside. Some lock designs allow manipulation of the locking mechanism through the keyway. This padlock uses the same kind of locking mechanism as our previous, however it only has one of those locking lugs. It also has nothing shielding the mechanism from access via the keyway. All you need to do is insert a thin tool and physically push the locking lug out of the way, releasing the shackle. This can be fixed by adding a thin sheet of metal behind the core, as has been done on this updated version. Now, these methods require no skill, but they do require a little knowledge, and maybe a somewhat specialised tool. There is a method that requires no skill, or knowledge really, just 2 spanners. And a bit of force.